You're making a mistake right now, and I say this with love. You're doubting that God still hears you. You've prayed. You've cried. You've waited. And now, you're starting to believe that maybe, just maybe, God forgot you. But let me tell you something loud and clear. He didn't. He never has. And He never will. I need you to hear this. Your life is about to shift. This is not just another feel-good message. This is a divine wake-up call. God is about to answer your prayer in a way that proves He never left you. But if you skip this video or zone out halfway through, you'll miss the key that unlocks that breakthrough. So pause everything else. Close the extra tabs. Turn your phone on silent. Because what you're about to hear could change everything. If you've ever felt like heaven was quiet while your world was falling apart, this message is for you. If you've ever questioned whether your tears were even seen, stay with me. Because by the end of this video, you're going to remember something deep in your soul. God is still writing your story. And this chapter, it's called Answered Prayer. Let's begin. You feel it, don't you? That unsettling quiet. You've prayed. You've pleaded. You've cried into your pillow at 2 a.m. wondering, why hasn't anything changed? You look at your situation, and it's still dry, still empty, and the silence, it's deafening. But I need you to hear me now with everything in you. God hears you, even in the silence, especially in the silence. This silence you're experiencing is not abandonment. It's not rejection, and it's definitely not forgetfulness. God hasn't forgotten a single word you've spoken. Every tear, every whisper, every desperate "God, please," has been heard, received, and remembered. The heavens may feel quiet, but they're not deaf. In fact, God is more attentive to you in your silence than you can imagine. Revelation 5:8 paints a picture that wrecked me the first time I truly understood it. It says that the prayers of the saints are like incense stored in golden bowls before God's throne. That means your prayers are not thrown into the wind or lost in a sea of noise. They are collected, stored, cherished. Think about that. God isn't ignoring you. He's preserving your cries as sacred offerings. Not one prayer has been wasted. Not one. But the problem is, we think silence means distance. We assume that if we don't hear back from God, He must not be listening. That's human thinking. That's emotional thinking. But our emotions are not always truth tellers. They react. God acts. And His action is often unseen before it becomes visible. He works behind the curtain. He's moving pieces into place while we're doubting if He's moving at all. And I've lived this. I remember praying for years about a personal situation that felt unbearable. I fasted. I cried. I journaled. And nothing changed. For years, nothing moved. But what I didn't know was that while I saw silence, heaven saw strategy. While I saw delay, God saw development. And when the answer finally came, it came in a way that made it undeniably clear. He had been listening the entire time. He just waited until the perfect moment to answer. And when He did, it silenced every doubt I ever had. Take Hannah, for example, in 1 Samuel 1. Her story hits hard because it's real. Year after year she went to the temple, crying out for a child while being mocked by others. She felt forgotten. But God had not forgotten her. He had not ignored her pain. Her cries were not empty noise. They were seeds planted in faith. And at the appointed time, God gave her Samuel, not just a son, but a prophet, a legacy, a testimony. God didn't give her just what she wanted. He gave her more than she imagined. But she had to endure the silence to reach the miracle. That's where you are right now, in that uncomfortable space between prayer and answer. And I know it's hard, but what if I told you this silence is actually your classroom? That your faith is being forged in this furnace. That the reason God feels distant is because He's closer than ever, just not in the way you expected. Silence is where spiritual warriors are made. It's where your roots go deep. It's where your trust matures. And when the answer comes, it will prove something powerful. He was listening all along. So don't stop praying. Don't stop hoping. Your prayers are not lost. They're being stored, being prepared, until the moment God chooses to release them in a way that shows the world He never forgot you. Not even for a second. You've been wondering if God is silent, but what if He's not silent at all? What if the stillness you hate is the stage He's setting for something so precise, so glorious? It couldn't come a second sooner or a second later. You don't need a louder voice from heaven. You need eyes to recognize the timing of God. And what happens when you're waiting isn't punishment but preparation. I know what you're feeling. You're watching the clock. You're watching the calendar. You're watching everyone else move ahead, while you sit there waiting on God, wondering why He hasn't shown up yet. You've prayed the right prayers. You've done the fasting. You've stood in faith. And yet, nothing. But here's the truth that will set your spirit on fire. God does not move by your clock. He moves by His glory. And His timing is never off. Not by a second. God is not just planning to answer you. He's planning to answer in a way that stuns your expectations and brings Him undeniable glory. The problem is, we're trained to expect fast, instant, immediate. But God operates in Kairos time, not the time of man, but the appointed time. Kairos is that divine moment when everything aligns. Your heart, your circumstance, your maturity, your surroundings, and then God steps in. Think about Abraham and Sarah. God gave them a promise. Not a vague suggestion. A promise, a child. But it didn't come next month. Or next year. They waited decades. And the longer they waited, the more impossible it looked. Sarah laughed when she heard the prophecy. She didn't laugh from joy. She laughed from disappointment. From the pain of waiting so long, she had stopped believing. But then came Genesis 21:1-2. And just like that, in the very time God appointed, Sarah conceived. A child was born. The promise became flesh. So if you're feeling frustrated in the wait, you're not alone. But hear me, delay is not denial, it's development. Every moment God seems late, He's working on you. Your character, your faith, your spiritual muscles. He's building you to be strong enough to carry the blessing when it comes. Let's go deeper. Jesus, in John 11, heard that Lazarus was dying. But what did He do? He waited 4 days. Not because He didn't love Lazarus, but because He wanted to reveal something greater. When Jesus finally showed up, Lazarus wasn't sick, he was dead. Buried. Gone. Everyone thought it was over. But that's when Jesus proved something powerful. It's never over when God steps in. He didn't come to heal Lazarus. He came to resurrect him. To reveal a level of glory no one saw coming. So I ask you, what if your delay is setting the stage for resurrection? not just healing? What if your unanswered prayer is not because God doesn't care, but because He's preparing something bigger than your faith could even ask for? Listen to me. God is never late. He's not ignoring you. He's aligning the miracle with the moment it will mean the most. When it arrives, it won't just bless you, it'll magnify Him. People will see your life and say, only God could have done that. Hold on. Trust the timing. Don't curse the wait. Because when He comes through, and He will, you'll look back and say, I'm so glad it didn't happen when I wanted, because this is better than I ever imagined. But even when the clock strikes God's time, not every answer looks like what you expected. What if He doesn't send what you asked for, but sends exactly what your soul was crying for all along? This isn't about a generic miracle. This is about something tailored, handwritten. And when it shows up, it will speak to your heart in a language no one else understands. God isn't in the business of one-size-fits-all blessings. He's not some vending machine in the sky where you push a button and out pops a random solution. No, He's personal, intimate, surgical with His answers. And what He's about to do in your life won't just fix the problem, it will speak directly to your heart. You've probably seen people around you get breakthroughs, and you wonder, why not me? But what if God isn't giving you what you've seen in others, because He's preparing something custom designed just for you? You see, God knows what you really need, even when you don't. You may be praying for money, but God sees the wound behind the request, the fear, the abandonment, the insecurity. And instead of just giving you temporary relief, He goes after the root, because He loves you too much to answer on the surface. I felt this personally during a dark season of burnout. I was asking God for clarity, for direction, for some kind of revelation. But you know what He gave me? Rest, silence, a break. And at first, I thought He wasn't listening. But then I realized He was answering why I didn't even know how to pray for. He saw the exhaustion I didn't speak about, the spiritual fatigue I tried to hide. And His answer wasn't flashy, but it was exactly what I needed. Look at Elijah in 1 Kings 19. The prophet had just performed incredible miracles. But afterward, he was running, depressed, suicidal, done. And God didn't come with fire or earthquake. He didn't drop a scroll from heaven with a mission. Instead, God sent an angel with food and water and told Elijah to rest. That was the answer. Not a thunderous prophecy, just care. Personal care. Because God knew what Elijah really needed in that moment. And He knows what you need too. So stop comparing your story. Stop thinking your blessing has to look like someone else's. The answer that's coming your way is being crafted with your name on it. God hasn't forgotten who you are. In fact, this answer will remind you that you are His beloved, His chosen, His child. Remember the Samaritan woman in John 4. She came to draw water, but what she received was far beyond physical refreshment. Jesus looked into her soul and gave her living water, something that would never run dry. He gave her what no man, no relationship, no ritual ever could. And it changed her life. That's what God wants to do for you. Not just hand you a temporary fix, but give you a soul-satisfying breakthrough. One that confirms His love for you, personally. One that's so specific, so timely, that you'll have no doubt it came straight from heaven. God doesn't give leftovers. He doesn't recycle blessings. He gives intentional, handcrafted, personal responses. And the one He's preparing for you right now will not only meet your need, it'll answer a deeper cry you didn't even speak out loud. So keep waiting, because when it comes, you'll realize this wasn't random. This was revelation. This was love. And when it comes, when that answer finally arrives, you won't be confused. It won't feel like coincidence or chance. It will carry weight. Because when God moves, He doesn't whisper quietly in the background. He shakes things. He breaks things. He shows up in ways that leave no room for doubt. Life can feel overwhelming. We're surrounded by challenges, pain, negativity, and distractions pulling us in every direction. But through every struggle, there's one answer: God. Here on Jesus Daily Blessings, I share messages to guide you, uplift you, and remind you of God's promises for your life. If you want to stay closer to God, subscribe to our channel, and let's walk this faith journey together. Let me tell you something you might have forgotten in your frustration. When God moves, it's loud. It's clear. It's undeniable. He doesn't answer your prayer in a whisper that blends into the noise of life. He answers in a way that leaves no room for doubt. You're not going to have to guess when your breakthrough shows up. You won't have to squint to see it. It's going to come with force, with clarity, with evidence. When God finally responds to your prayer, it won't just meet your need. It will speak to your spirit and silence every ounce of unbelief that ever tried to take root in you. Remember Peter in Acts 12. The early church was praying for him while he was locked in prison. And what did God do? He didn't just make a guard fall asleep. He sent an angel. Chains fell off. Iron gates opened by themselves. Peter walked out of that prison untouched. And when he showed up at the house where they were praying, they didn't even believe it was real. That's how shocking the miracle was. That's how God works. He moves in ways that leave even the faithful speechless. And I believe He's preparing to do the same for you. What's coming is going to break the pattern of struggle. It's going to embarrass the lies that told you to give up. It's going to set the record straight. God never left you. But listen closely. When God acts, it's not just for your comfort. It's for His glory. So when your miracle comes, you won't just feel relief. You'll feel reverence. Oh, you'll look at your life and say, only God could have done this. And that's how Daniel felt when God shut the mouths of lions. He didn't just survive the night. He walked out untouched. And his deliverance didn't just bless him. It changed a kingdom. King Darius declared the God of Daniel to be the living God. Why? Because when God moves, even your enemies have to admit His power. That's what's coming your way. A move of God that's not just personal, it's public. So get ready. Because your answered prayer is not just a solution. It's a signal. A sign to the world that God is alive, active, and able. You won't need to explain it. You won't need to defend it. It will speak for itself. And when it comes, your only response will be worshipped. But the real miracle, it's not just that the answer arrives, it's that it comes carrying proof, evidence, that you were never forgotten. Not for a day, not for a minute. And when you see it, you'll realize something holy was happening in every delay, every disappointment, every moment you thought heaven was quiet. There's something sacred about a moment when God finally answers a long-held prayer. It's not just relief, it's revelation. It's not just that the problem is solved, it's that something deep inside you awakens again. A voice rises up in your soul and says, "He remembered me." And I'm here to tell you, that moment is coming for you. The very thing you cried for, fasted for, wrestled God over in the night. It's not loss. It's not delayed beyond redemption. It is still coming. And when it arrives, you'll know for certain you were never forgotten. You may not realize it, but every tear you've cried has been counted. Psalm 56:8 says that God keeps track of your sorrows and collects every tear in a bottle. Do you understand what that means? Your pain has not only been noticed, it's been honored, treasured, saved. God doesn't just see your pain, He responds to it. But He does it in ways that are sometimes slow to unfold, because He's not just trying to bless you, He's trying to transform you. He's writing a story with your life that speaks louder than your suffering ever could. And when the answer comes, it will come with layers: healing, restoration, and fresh revelation. Look at Joseph. Betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused, thrown in prison, and forgotten by the very man he helped. Year after year, it looked like God had abandoned him. But God hadn't. He was just preparing the stage. When the door finally opened, Joseph wasn't just released, he was promoted, elevated, taken from prison to palace in a single day. Why? Because God's answers are never shallow. They are complete. Joseph didn't just get justice, he got purpose. And that's what God is preparing for you, a redemptive answer. Not just one that proves He heard you, but one that proves nothing was wasted. Not your time, not your pain, not your waiting, that failed relationship. It's going to make sense soon. That job you lost. God is about to open something bigger. That season of silence where you felt like nobody cared. It was where your soul grew its deepest roots. And when your answer comes, when it finally hit your life, you'll look back on all those sleepless nights and realize He was there the whole time. Working, weaving, watching. Genesis 50:20 says, "What was meant for evil, God turned for good." That wasn't just a nice quote. It was Joseph looking hell in the face and realizing heaven had the final word. And you will too. You're going to testify. You're going to stand up and say, "I thought He left me, but He never did." You'll look back on every unanswered prayer and realize they weren't unanswered. They were just in process. And now, the fulfillment is here. God is not just answering your prayer. He's proving your pain had purpose. He's proving that you were never invisible, never ignored, never abandoned. So get ready to say it for yourself. God remembered me. Now the question becomes, how will you respond? When the answer you've been praying for finally knocks on your door, will you receive it with trembling gratitude, or forget the one who sent it? Because faith doesn't finish at the blessing, it only begins there. When God finally answers you, and He will, you must remember something crucial. How you respond matters. Too many people get what they prayed for, and then they forget the one who gave it. They receive the blessing, but neglect the blesser. They rejoice over the gift and forget the giver. But that cannot be your story. When your answer comes, don't just feel grateful. Be grateful. Let gratitude pour out of your life like worship. Let it be loud, visible, undeniable. When the miracle lands in your lap, you've got to return to the feet of Jesus and say, "Thank you." Look at the 10 lepers in Luke 17. They were outcasts, diseased, untouchable. Jesus healed all 10 of them, but only one came back. Just one. And you know what Jesus said? Weren't there 10? Where are the other 9? He was looking for hearts that could handle blessing without losing humility. He was looking for worshipers. That's who you need to be. When the job comes, when the healing comes, when the relationship finally clicks, when the doors open, when the silence breaks, when the answer drops into your life like a waterfall from heaven, be the one who returns. Be the one who praises. But more than praise, let that answer become your testimony. Somebody needs your story. Somebody else is praying the prayer you once cried. And your miracle is the proof they need to keep holding on. Don't hide your testimony. Speak it. Post it. Preach it. Let it echo. Let it roar. This isn't just about receiving. It's about responding. Because the moment your prayer gets answered isn't the end of your faith journey. It's the beginning of a new level. God doesn't just give blessings to bless you. He gives them to build you. And the answer to your prayer isn't just a reward. It's a responsibility. It's your invitation to go deeper, higher, stronger. Just like Mary, when she received the word that she would carry the Messiah, she didn't just nod politely. She didn't question it into the ground. She responded with a song. Luke 1:46-49 is her declaration of praise. She magnified God before she even saw the baby. Because faith doesn't wait for full visibility to worship, it worships as soon as the word is spoken. So when your breakthrough shows up, I want you to do something powerful. Fall to your knees. Lift your voice. Testify. Say, God, I receive this, and I return it to you in worship. Let your answered prayer become an altar. Let your miracle become a message. Let your healing be a hymn. Let your joy become a river of gratitude that never runs dry. And don't stop there. Let the answer fuel a new fire in your faith. Pray bigger. Believe deeper. Love harder. Give more. Because if He answered you once, He can do it again. And again. And again. Faith doesn't retire after the blessing. It reignites. So here's your final charge. When the answer comes, honor it with your life. Because it's not just proof that God heard you. It's proof that He's inviting you into deeper partnership, deeper purpose, deeper praise. This is your moment to not only receive, but to rise. If your heart is stirred, if your spirit is leaning in, then don't leave this moment untouched. This is not where the video ends. This is where your conversation with God begins. If something inside you knows this message was for you, then I want you to pray with me. Out loud. With faith. With honesty. Because the same God who promised to never forget you is listening right now. Let's talk to Him together. Father, I come into your presence right now, not just with my words, but with my whole heart. I acknowledge you are here. Not distant. Not distracted. You have never stopped watching over me. You have been present in every silence, present in every tear, present even when I felt forgotten. You are the God who sees, the God who stays, the God who speaks in your own time. So I pause everything else, and I lift my voice to you because I know you hear me now. God, I release the weight I've been carrying in secret, the pain I never told anyone about, the disappointment that's been festering in my heart, the dreams I buried because I thought you said no, the prayers I stopped praying because I got tired of waiting. Forgive me for the times I let silence convince me you stopped caring. Right here, right now, I lay it all down. I'm not holding on to the past. I'm not clinging to bitterness. I release it into your hands. Every piece. every scar, every unanswered cry. Lord, I declare today your timing is perfect, even when I don't understand it. I choose to trust your process over my pressure. You are not late. You are preparing something I cannot yet see. Delay is not the end, it is divine development. I believe you are working in the unseen right now, opening doors I didn't know existed, shifting things in my favor. So I declare with bold faith, your answer is on the way, and it will arrive exactly when you've ordained it. I remind my heart of this truth. I am not forgotten you. I am not invisible. I am not abandoned. I am known by you, loved by you, chosen by you. You see every detail of my story, every thought, every ache, every hope. You have written my name on the palm of your hand. I am your child, your masterpiece, and you have not brought me this far to leave me now. You are still writing my testimony. So today, I stand in agreement with your word. I declare that the answer is coming, and it will be unmistakable. I believe you are sending a response that speaks directly to me. A miracle that shouts, I never forgot you. I agree with heaven's agenda over my life. I speak breakthrough over every delay, healing over every wound, and peace over every storm. Let it come, Lord, not by might, not by effort, but by your Spirit. And when it does, I won't forget you in the blessing. I will return to give you glory. I will testify of your goodness. I will not just receive, I will respond. Let my whole life be a thank you. Let my worship rise like incense. Let every answered prayer point back to you, the giver of every good thing. And let my faith grow deeper than it's ever been. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. If this word stirred something in you, then help carry it to someone else who's still crying out in silence. When you give, you're not supporting a video. You're sending God's voice into another person's midnight. That's divine work. That's eternal impact. Every gift you sow is like oil poured on the altar, fuel for the fire that wakes hearts, restores faith, and reminds the forgotten that God still answers. This is your moment to be the answered prayer someone else has been waiting for. He said, "Give, and it shall be given to you." That's not poetry. It's prophetic law, and he never speaks in vain. You've prayed, "Use me, Lord." This is how he's answering you now. If this message reminded you that he never forgot you, then plant a seed right now, so someone else can hear. You are not forgotten either. Your act of faith in this moment will not return empty. It will return as souls, testimonies, and breakthrough stories with your fingerprints on them. Support this mission through Super Thanks. Become a monthly partner through membership, or give through PayPal using the link in the video description. Now move. Click. So, give. And watch heaven respond to your obedience, not later, but now. Before you go, don't just scroll past this moment. Mark it. If this word stirred your heart, if the prayer spoke straight into your spirit, then I want you to drop a comment right now and declare this out loud. God has not forgotten me. My answer is on the way. Write it in the comments. Speak it with your mouth. Let the atmosphere around you shift by the power of your own declaration. Your faith may feel small, but your words carry weight in heaven. And don't stop there. If this message resonated with you, share it. Send it to someone who's been praying and waiting in silence. Be the vessel that delivers hope, just like this word delivered hope to you. And if you haven't already, subscribe and turn on notifications, because what God started in you today, He's going to keep building. Your miracle is moving. Your story isn't over. God is about to answer your prayer in a way that proves He never forgot you. Amen. Please like this video and leave a heartfelt Amen in the comments. If you want to stay closer to God, subscribe to our channel